Okay, here's your assignment on the magic fruit. And actually, you're not allowed to, you don't have to use fruit, but something, make something magic out of an ordinary object. Fruit's nice because you can poke it and pierce it. Okay, so the idea here is to remove the chopsticks, and it will appear as though the banana is floating along its, I don't know, what do you call it? The peel. I almost called it casing. The peel here, it'll look like the peel is supporting the banana. Let me do a little bit of reflection first on sort of what I'm thinking now. I'm upset at myself that I didn't go higher. What am I saying? I'm upset at myself that I didn't stand a little taller to make this part of the banana in this darker portion because it looks weird right here. Maybe there's something I can do in Photoshop to clean that up, but just kind of keep that in mind when you're framing and deciding where to shoot your photograph. Is that this is not a good spot. You want to be able to make sure your object stands off of the background as much as possible. So if you have a lighter object, choose a darker background. If you have a darker object, choose a lighter background. All right, so let's get into this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the layer. So right here, first of all, I've unlocked the layer. There used to be a little lock. You can just click on it. Drag this down. You can copy it. Drag it down to that little icon right there. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and clean it. So cleaning is basically trying to get rid of these chopsticks. So I'm going to go here to the spot healing brush. This is the easiest tool to use. And I'm just going to make it bigger by holding down the right bracket key. And then let's just drag along and see how it does. So I'm not going to go all the way up to the banana. I'll go pretty close to it, but not all the way up. I'll do a better job as I get closer. Okay, so this is doing pretty good. It helps if the background's pretty blurry. It knows, it can identify that pretty easily. Okay. Okay, so this is going pretty well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. And if you turn this layer off and on again, you can see sort of the original. I can get in there a little bit closer. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab that clone stamp tool. So the clone stamp selects from a certain area next to it. So I'm just going to select from right here. I hold down Option or Alt, just click, and you can see it starting to copy what's right next to it. Let's go a little bit farther. Okay, and I can select from over here and grab that. Okay, that did not do a good job. Let's select from a little higher. Good. Okay, so this one's probably going to be the hardest one because it covers some of the banana. Let's go and let's just for fun see what happens if I do that. Hey, that did a pretty good job. So did that. Cool. Let's grab the clone stamp again and just drag over this area. Cool. All right, let's do this. That wasn't that good of a job. Let's just grab one individually. Also not that good. So for this, what I'll do is I'll copy. I'm going to go up here to the selection tool. And there's lots of different kinds of selection. In fact, I'll grab an elliptic one. I'm just going to go right here, Command J, that'll copy just that piece to a new layer. Make sure you're selected on that one. Command T, and I can move this piece over here. And then if you click this little web tool here, you can manipulate that a little bit more. And then click the layer mask, and then you're going to paint with black. Black will mean turning that part of the layer off. And make sure you're on the layer mask right there. You see the little sort of rectangle lines around the corners. Make sure you're on the brush tool. Right bracket will make the brush bigger, in theory. Why isn't that working? Maybe it's super big already. Make it smaller. Yep, it was very big. There we go. Okay. This might not go that well, but we'll try. Okay, let's merge down. So click here. Merge down will merge just the layer that you're on and the layer below it. And we can try this tool again. Let's undo that one. Okay. Okay, not too bad. Let's go right here and see if we can get rid of that mark. That looks fine. All right, so we're pretty much just going to go around and use those same techniques all around this photograph, trying and cleaning up all the parts that look a little bit bizarre. And that's the goal. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this. And the last thing I'm going to do after I remove all of those chopsticks is I'm going to go to this brightness tool, and I'm going to bring down the brightness. I feel like it's too bright right around in here, so I'm going to bring that down. And then I'm also going to bring down the brightness again. However, I'm going to turn it off because of that issue I thought before with the banana being too bright against a bright background in this area. So now I can kind of, whoops, that brush is not a brush. That is the content aware tool. Hopefully it ignores that. Let's undo that. Okay, let's click on the brush tool. And I'm going to paint with black. So I'm just going to come in here and paint so I'm turning the brightness off. I'm turning it back on actually. And then I'm going to come down here and brighten it up around here. And that's going to be kind of the finish after I take away all of these, all of the chopsticks. So I didn't want to make this video too long. You get kind of the gist, but those are our tools. So you've got content aware, clone stamp, and the command J for copying another area of the photograph.